Hey guys, Cullen here, and I just finished watching Arslan Senki episode 12, and in general it was a great episode, but in another way, it had a lot of bits that kind of let it down. One of the main things about it that's becoming a consistent letdown in this series is the animation. Like, you can tell they're continuously trying to cut quarters. The fight between Narcissus and Silver Mask was just really pathetically animated. It was just literally them surrounded by white and really overblown, just kind of spinning around each other and slicing in really barely visible ways. It was kind of terrible. And that sucks, because I mean, it was a fight with Silver Mask, and Narcissus actually put up a fight against Silver Mask, which is cool. We didn't expect him to be able to hold off Silver Mask, considering he barely helped Darien when Darien was fighting him. And I was looking forward to seeing Narcissus getting his ass kicked, and then when he actually put up a fight, I was quite interested as well. But just the animation, the way they did it, was horrible. So that did kind of let the episode down again. But moving on from that, there were some awesome fighting scenes in this, which probably took away more of the budget. Like when Darien and Ferengis were fighting against all the other soldiers, and then the Dark Mage showed up. That was really cool. I was again a bit let down about the Dark Mage dying so easily. And also Zand is gone now, we think. I mean, he got shot by an arrow and fell down a mountain, so he's probably dead, but he could come back. Anime logic, if you fall down a mountain and you don't see the body, they can be coming back. Still, like, that was really not very well played to me. Like, it was just so anticlimactic. The whole preview for this episode was, holy shit, the Dark Mage is going to attack. And all we really saw in the preview was the Dark Mage coming out of the ground and being creepy. And it looks like it was going to be an awesome long fight where Darien was going to have to, like, really try. Instead, Darien clashed with Zand a few times, dodged the Dark Mage once. Arslan came to save him, which was actually really cool. Like, Arslan attacked the Dark Mage while the Dark Mage was about to stab Darien in the back, and then got bitch slapped himself. That was really cool. And Alarm and Arslan had a bunch of little cute moments where they felt like they were going to be friends, and a little bit more than friends in some scenes. It was a bit odd there. And I mean, at the end, it was a bit odd with Arslan and Darien kind of talking like they were lovers as well, but you come to expect these kinds of things in anime with a lot of male characters in them. And this one certainly isn't feeling like an otome yet. Nowhere near like an otome yet. It still feels like a boys' show rather than a girls' show. It's just a few ways that they say certain things that feel a bit off. But I mean, they do want to serve Arslan and do kind of love him. Anyway, I got distracted. The battle was kind of cool, very anticlimactic. Like, after that, when Darien saw Arslan in trouble, yes, it was really cool that that is what triggered him to go insane and get, like, superpowers. At the same time, should anyone in such a realistic anime have superpowers? I mean, I know they've got magic, but Darien doesn't have magic. Darien's supposed to be a human. And at this point, he kind of glowed, and there was heat coming off of him. It was like he was powering up Dragon Ball style. He suddenly had this aura around him and went super fast. Like, ridiculously fast. And that was another poorly animated moment. Like, when he knocked Zand off his horse, that was really cool. But then when they showed him running towards Arslan, and it was just him surrounded by bright white light. And for all we know, he was probably CG, because you could barely see him. It was blurry as shit. And just really bad. He was just practically a silhouette. You could see him spinning around his spear and the guys falling down. So it gave like a cool effect, but at the same time, it didn't really look good. Like, I prefer fights where you can actually see what's going on. And in that one, it was just glowy white background and a silhouette moving through enemies and the enemies all falling down. Not cool. Not cool at all. And then, yeah, he killed the Dark Magician. Like, when the Dark Magician had barely been able to fight. It was kind of dull. So, bit disappointing. Still some good moments. Like, the plot is what really keeps me coming back to this anime. And now there's been a lot of infighting in Ekbatana. Like, a person was killed Probably by the king's brother. Like, the king's brother seems pretty proud of it all happening. And the man was one of the Knights Templar. And he was sleeping with a heathen woman. So, you know, corrupt church, all of that. Yada yada. Bodin took all of his men and marched them right the hell out. So what we've got now is Ecbatana and the Lusitanians fighting each other. The Knights Templar are against the king. The king is against his brother, even though he doesn't know it. Like, his brother is sabotaging him and planning to take the throne for himself. Really, it's really cool. Like, there's a lot of political stuff going on here. But at the same time, we barely get to see that because we're focused on Arslan's group. And Arslan's group is the much more interesting story. Don't get me wrong. But I do think they need a few more moments to focus on Ecbatana and everything going on there, because there's some really cool stuff happening there. And so that's what I mean. There's a lot of good plot happening in this anime. But does it really fit an anime very well? Like, if you read the novels, it would probably play out the same kind of way of Game of Thrones, giving enough time to each thing and really developing it. Whereas with Arslan Senki, because each episode is 20 minutes, and they want to remind you what's going on in other places in each episode while also focusing on one main point, it's a bit hard for them to fit that all into the 20 minutes. And so a lot of things just get glanced over really quickly. And that is a bit of a disappointment. And it's something this series is going to have to work on. It's going to have to think to itself, can it keep going like this, or should it just focus on the one story? And then occasionally have an episode that goes back to focus on something else. The next episode is called The Two Princes, and it's clearly going to focus on Arslan finding out about Hermes' backstory, which should be very interesting. He's going to have to question whether he still wants to fight back and become the king when he figures out there's somebody that is actually more directly related and in line for the throne than him. And so that could be very interesting. What they have to do is focus on it from Arslan's point of view. They don't want to keep changing between him and Hermes unless they just do a flashback again to show a bit more of Hermes' past. That I'd be okay with. If they spend half the episode jumping back to Silver Mask and what he's doing to try and find Arslan, it'll kind of just ruin the whole thing. So it is something they have to consider. So, damn good episode. I enjoyed it. I especially liked Darian's knightly styles. Like, this episode was called Knight something, I don't remember. But it was great because in this episode Darian was just seriously 100% behind Arslan. When fighting Zand and Zand was doing his whole thing talking about the rightful king, Darian was just straight up, I don't care. I'm serving Arslan. Arslan's the one I'm working for. It doesn't matter to me about any rightful king. And then again at the end when he was talking with Arslan, he thought to himself, yeah, it doesn't matter if he's the king, the prince or anything. I'm just serving this man. This is who I want to be with. Again, slight overtones of romance there, but not something that bothers you too much. It's still very cute. I like that he's so devoted to Arslan. I really do. It's cool. And Alarm becoming Arslan's friend is awesome. Give getting back to Farangus was kind of cool as well. The way that he was flirting with her like so hard just because he missed her so much. And her just being so cold to him as usual. The group's mechanics are really fun together. The only one that still hasn't gotten back is Narcissus, who will apparently be getting back next episode. Because we see him charging along a rooftop that looks very much like Peshawar as well. So, should be cool. And we've got a new girl in the group who has an interesting story. I don't know, she just kind of joined out of nowhere. I'm not sure if she's going to stay with Arslan or if she's going to die soon for dramatic effect, or if she's just along for an episode or two and then will disappear and go on her own journey. I do know that Etoile will be coming back soon, and as a main character in the second core, which should start from episode 14. I'm looking forward to that. I really do like Etoile. Should be cool to see her becoming a main character and chasing down Arslan's party. Whether she's trying to kill him as the prince, or she just wants to get to know him because she's interested in him as the boy that she kidnapped while she was younger. Either way, it will be cool to see. So thanks for listening, guys. Leave a comment to let me know what you thought of the episode, especially the animation quality and everything about the plot, which was still awesome. Like if you enjoyed it, Subscribe if you haven't to see more, and I will see you guys next time.